Docker containers. Okay, what is a Docker container? We have already discussed. Container is a running or stopped instance of an image. So basically, you will create containers out of images. So this container, once you run the image, a container will start running. And after some time, you can stop this container. So after stopping also, it is still a container. It is not deleted or removed. So once a container is stopped, you can again start it. So when you start it, it will again use these layers of image to start running. So container is a running or a stopped instance of an image. So basically what it contains inside. So it contains its own file system inside a container. So how a VM is created and what is a virtual machine system? Guest operating system. And this guest operating system has its own network, has its own space to run the processes, and also has its own file system, right? So if you see
Yes.
here, I have RHEL, which is 32-bit. So it has its own file system. It has root, it has OPT, it has etc. So in the same way, a container, once you started this container, a running instance of an image, a container, it contains its own file system, its network stack, and its process space. And this container, once you started running this container, it can communicate with other containers as well. And you can access the content of this container from the outside world. For example, from a browser also, right? So these all things a container will provide you with. So it can communicate with other containers and outside world. How? Simply, it is with the help of ports and network. So basically, how do we run a container? We'll say just Docker run and the port number mapping and the name of the image. It will run. It will start running. So this is the name of the image. And you can check the Docker processes. And even you can enter or you can log into the container with the help of container ID. So why to log in to the container? So inside container, what is happening? What is the file system? Where exactly the logs are stored? If you want to do some changes or if you want to do troubleshooting, so you can even log into the container and check whatever is required. So you can stop the container, you can remove the container. So stopping and removing, these two are different things. If you remove the container, again, you need to run the container from the start. Whatever the data is stored by your container is lost. But when you stop the container, the data, it remains intact. So that is a difference. So what are the key concepts of containers? Containers are ephemeral. So ephemeral in the sense they are temporary. So deleting the containers does not delete the image. Why? Image is immutable. Image, until and unless you manually delete the image, images will not be changed. But containers, these are ephemeral. So these can change. And deleting them does not change the image. And you can have multiple containers from a single image, right? So how do you create multiple containers? Basically with the same image. Here, Nginx and Nginx. These two are, it is a single image, but you are naming the container with Web1 and Web2. the entire command to run the container is same, except that the name you are giving to the container is different. So both Web1 and Web2 share the same image, but they run independently. So in real world, if you take a car manufacturing company, in order to manufacture a single model of a car, they will have a blueprint first, right? With this image as a blueprint, the, the company, the car manufacturing company, it creates multiple manufacturers, multiple cars with the same image, right? So this is a simple real-time uh, analogy how an image and a container works.